are common. Just read it. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this portrait demonstrations. And this is the paper. It's a charcoal paper from Strathmore. And today we're going to draw from this reference. And it's called Grandpa. And how we're going to capture the personality. This is what we are focusing on today. And how we're going to, first thing before you start drawing it, you want to take a look at the reference. You want to thinking about it, keep a few minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it takes to get your sense from what you're seeing as this person. What is he thinking about? And what kind of person he is, and try to capture it and internalize it. So before you start the drawing. Okay, I'm going to start with a wine charcoal, a medium wine charcoal. So I'm going to start doing that a little bit simple gesture first. Okay, let's take a look here. And I'm going to have it about the top over here, how much you want to draw. And then the face can be a little bit less than half. Here you go. Like over here. Okay. That is the face, and that would be the hand. That's the finger over here. When you draw hands, you don't want to see fingers. You just draw the big shape of the hand, like over here. And you want to draw, this is the shape, and this is the thumb over here. And you want to see the outside shape, the bigger shape, and right here. And then you're thinking about, oh, this is definitely too big because of the face is about this big. So at this point, you just need to get the rough impression of this, put it on, and then, okay, hang on. And the member over here, I got it. And okay. Sorry about that. I forgot our member waiting over there. Okay, now I share the screen so be able to see what I'm doing. So also the non-members and on the on YouTube, please just write your comment and please our member read it to me if you see the comment. Be my assistant. Okay. All right. Let's continue over here and take a look at. So speaking of enjoying communities, so if anyone out there like to learn drawing with me, and especially portrait drawing, we have different programs on Friday, free to all members, as well as discount for into our learning programs. So just come to enjoyingart.com, take a look at our member benefits, and take a look at the upcoming learning program to see what you can take and take the program and learn with us. So right now I almost finished that, getting the rough big impression first, and now I'm gonna take a look at the whole thing. Don't look in the eye, don't look in the nose, don't look in the any details. Just thinking about if this is the throat that I want. Okay, obviously the hand, it will be too big compared to the face. So make all those big adjustments before you going any further. Okay, so I'm thinking about this would be the main area, the motion. And now I'm thinking about that. I'm going to put the shoulder over here. I'm going to keep drawing a little bit more before we go into the details. Okay. And the shoulder over here too, on this side. And like that. And obviously, here's a little, like the back of the hunch, like that. Okay, this is good. The top over here, I'm going to keep drawing a little bit more. Okay. And coming down over here, and going to probably put the ear around this area. We're going to do measurements. And we have a program coming up especially for how you're going to learn to measure and to draw and capture the likeness. This is called Classical Training Program. This right under the Enjoying Art homepage. You'll be able to see those. And here you go. That ear coming over here, about there. I'm not quite sure. Keep looking at the big impression. Okay. And I think we're getting that pretty well. And I'm going to have included some of the bold shadow on this side. And that give it even more movement into the drawing. Let's take a look. And I think this is pretty good so far. And I'm going to take a look at, I think, the compositions. I'm going to stay with this. And let's take a look that his face is very much like a frontal view, right? So take a look right here. And okay, if this is the top of the hair, I'm squinting my eye as you see. It's very important to get the big impressions always, the big impressions first. And now I'm going to change the line charcoal to a compressed charcoal. And I'm going to start draw. I think the big shape is already right. And the proportion is very much right. So I'm going to take a look again. And we're going to double check. Okay, coming down over here. The compressed charcoal is a little bit darker, and it's much more stable as well. Okay. Now first I'm going to divide the vertical first before I'm going to double check the width of the face. Okay. The previous step is all about how to get the flow that we want. Right? Now take a look at from the hairline over here. As you see on the side over here. And this is from the hairline to the eyebrow, and the eyebrow to the nostril, very much the same distance. If you're not quite sure, and you can always take a measurement. Right, let's do that. Right here to the eyebrows, and the top of the eyebrow. Top of the eyebrows to the top of the nostril is very much the same. Okay, and then from here coming down, that would be in the middle is almost like at the bottom of the, right under the lower lip. Okay, so that would be, and then the leftover, that would be here. Here is about, the bottom have about half of the space over there. So if you divide the top over here to the bottom over here into 1, 2, 3 and a half. And this is how we divide the vertical space. Okay, let's take a look at that. I'm going to use the line charcoal. Take a look at how I'm going to divide it. So this is will be, let's set the bottom of the lower lip of the mouth. Okay, here, right here. And now very much like from here, 1, 2, 3, the 3 of them. So let's take a look. I'm going to use my finger. That, so you can see 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Here you go. So very much 1, 2, 3. And then you can see the bottom, that I want to print the bottom right here. In that case, this is not right. I'm going to erase it because the bottom, I only need half of the one. So I don't want to have 3/4 of the one. So I'm going to start over again. Okay, that means I'm going to have the bottom right here. Okay, that will be the bottom of the lower lip of the mouth. Now do it again. That's about right. This is a little bit here. This is about a little bit here, like that. And take a look here. It's about half of the one. So, and let's go with this for now, and then we can extend it, shrink it, and now take a look at the eyebrow. Okay, this is the line for the eyebrow, for both eyebrows, and the top of the eyebrows. Okay, now put that over here, and then we see the nostril location right here. And this is not the bottom of the nose, as the two nostrils is sitting right there. And then take a look at, is this the bottom of the mouth over here? Now I'm going to take a look at and the middle of the mouth, which is consider the space between the upper mouth and the lower mouth, the lower lip, like right here. And that, as you can see now, is here has a lot of space here between the bottom of the nose and the top of the mouth. And this is almost the same space from here to the eye. And let's take a look. And it may be over here, can be a little bit higher. I can see that this, I think, could be a little bit higher right over here. So first do a guessing and then come to measuring. This is very important. You have to measure it and not just guessing alone. Now this is the lower mouth, and take a look, and there's where's the eye? The eye about 1, 2, about a third. The eyebrows over here, about a third to the nostril. So this is the eye, about the location of the eye. And here you go. This is the eye on this side. And these two eyes together form a curved line. And he is looking up a little bit, like that. We're not quite sure how wide the nose would be. Not just yet. Okay, I'm going to draw a little bit shadow in here. Here you go. Now the nose, the nostril is about here. Okay, don't confirm it yet. We haven't even know how wide the nose would be, and then how wide the nose that would be. And maybe the nose can come down a little bit more, and we're going to see. We talk about the top of the nostril and over here. So the bottom of the nostril can come down a little bit more, like that, and could be right. Okay. And let's take a look. And it looks like about right, but I bet the mouth over here can come up a little bit more, just a little bit more, like this. And I'm going to do a little bit shading over here, because if you put a little bit more content in between the nose and the mouth, it would feel a little bit shorter. So we're going to put a little shading over here to see how that is going to look. Now, we do want to do a little measurement to find out the width of the face compared to the height of the face. So here we go. Now I'm going to take a look at the left sideburn and the right sideburn. I'm going to take this and I'm going to test it to see from the bottom of the, maybe not bottom of the chin, but I'm going to go from the nostril coming down. Wow, that's interesting. And from the top of the hairline to the mouth, that's the width, the top of the mouth. That would be the width. Okay, from here to here. Okay, that's right, from here to here. Top of the hairline to the top of the mouth. Let's say we're going to stick to this, and we can make adjustments on the other things. Now I'm going to take the hairline all the way to the top of the mouth. I'm going to rotate it. That will be the width, as it's not too far from what we estimate. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to put this. Okay, and the right side, right over here. Okay, this is good. Now have the right side and the left side. you got to confirm it, you have to measure it. And you don't want to just go by luck. And every time you just spend a few minutes, you can find it. Okay, like that. This is good. From here, almost like a straight line coming down, right? From here. And this is below the eye over here. And this eye is pointing to this direction. Here you go. And then from here, there's almost like a straight line with this angle, like that. Okay. And some member looking for what is their portrait fundamentals. It looks like it's already disappeared because we want to offer that after the classical training one that was is going on this May. And then in the fall semester, we're going to offer the portrait fundamental. So please take this classical training before you start the portrait because it's going to make you more enjoyable. And take a look at the bottom of the chin. Is that right? I'm going to take a look at the bottom of the chin to the nose, the nostril, to see how we divide the space here. I'm guessing over here that would be like right at the highlight over there on the lip, right? And if I'm going to double check on that from the top of the nostril and coming to the highlight about the upper lip of the mouth. No. Or the bottom of the highlight. Okay, right. That right here. Very much, a little bit lower than this point. And right here. Now I'm going to take a look at where is the, if I'm pointing to here, that will be in the middle. I'm going to take that over here to here. It's very much right. So this, it will be the highlight area, right under the highlight area of the lower lip. So that's just good. So that means this the whole mouth needs to move a little bit higher because this will be the lower lip and has the highlight right here. And this the lower lip and this the upper lip and moving a little bit slightly, a little bit higher. Like that. Not much. Okay, just a little bit. Here, higher. Okay, this is good. Now we're getting some of their very useful information to move forward. Now, since we already know the left side and the right side of the face, now we're going to take a look at how we divide the space and where are the two eyes. And interesting is the space between the two eyes is almost like a 1.5 eye, almost. And both sides is just, yeah, it's just like a 3/4 of the eye width. Right? So this is have a lot more. So I'm going to take a look at, so the corner would be here. If the corner over here, and the corner over here on this side. And how we divide this space. And this one eye, there's another eye over here, the corner of the eye, right here. And those are very important. The proportion, the structure, that is the likeness. And then coming, looks like the corner can be a little bit more toward the side over here because both sides is very a little bit closer to the edge. And the other way to double check it is just the triangle. You can see the triangle over here. That's one line over here. And then from both corners, connect to the nose. And then you can find what's the correct proportion. So you can see that from here to the nostril, right? From the corner over here to the nostril. And from the corner of this to the nostril. You can find that is whether or not in the correct location. All right. I think the proportion is pretty good at this point. Now I'm going to do a very simple shading of it. And I'm going to soften that a little bit. And it's okay to have something softened and going into the background. Okay. Now I'm going to just make here, I'm still using the wine charcoal. Okay, I'm going to have that going from, it's called wrap around movement is called also cross contoured. And stay over here. We already know where's the eye. And here you go. Now I'm going, this is the shadow side. And coming over here, this is also the shadow side. And have a little bit turning, a little bit darker over here. Here you go, nostril. We're sitting in this corner, like that. And we can put a little bit suggestions inside the eye, like a little triangle over here. Okay, and that's also have another plane change. You can draw a little bit shape like that. You want to focus on the shape, the shadow. Okay, that's good. And now we make the form a little bit better. Now seeing this is have a little bit shape coming down over here, but this is the shadow area. I'm going to make the whole shadow area even darker. Here you go. Okay. And this good. I'm going to have a little bit thicker over here. A little bit slower turning over. Okay, here you go. Like that. Okay, now we have developed the form on this side. I'm looking for the form on this side of the eye over here, outside the eye. You can see that a little bit turning over here. It's just looking for the shape. Shape has value, has texture. So take a look at coming over here. Looks like, yeah, this is the eye area. Here you go. And looks like there's filled in a little bit shape over here. No worry about that. We're gonna come back again and again and take a look at the space between the two eyes over here. That's the structure. Like between these two different points, these two different areas, is also very crucial, showing that how actually underneath the bone structure, right? This is good, and coming over here, this is a little bit darker. Okay. That, and have a little nostril. Oh no, the eyebrow, right over here. A little bit soft. That's good. Now, at the corner over here, a little bit darker. There you go, like this. And have a little bit darker over here too. And some member doesn't like much about their charcoal paper because it has linen, it looks like some linen texture. And you don't like it, but this is okay. If you draw a little bit bigger, those texture will become actually very minimum. Okay, over here. Draw a little bit shape coming down. It's a little bit softer. Now take a look at the nose over here. Is that double check it? We're not quite sure. We need to double check the nose. And you can see the width of the nose is very much like a little bit smaller than in between the two eye space, but a little bit wider than one eye width. Okay, now I'm gonna look at it, but I'm gonna draw a little bit wider right here and take a look on this side. A little bit right here, like that. Look at it again. Is that right? Should be a little bit wider, maybe a little bit wider. Like this. And the whole side of this side of the nose is actually shadow. So I'm going to make this whole side darker. You have to compare, okay? Compare the whole shape, the bigger shape. And take a look over here from this side of the nose. Now coming down here. You see the whole shape above the mouth. That's the shape actually represent the structure of the whole T underneath the skin. Okay, I'm going to make this a bit darker like this. And take a look over here. Also have a little bit shape coming all the way to the corner of the mouth. Now here you go. We are working on a little bit more general structure, and by observing the value and the shape. So this a little bit later, and over here now take a look under the mouth over here. Now you also can measure this connect with the nose. And you can do it like this. And here we go. Oh, I can actually go all the way in the nose right here, this angle. So the nose can go out a little bit more, and a little bit more. And you can also connect this point, right, to the top of the eyebrows, like this angle. Okay, like this angle. That's just good. Connect all the way up there. This is good. The whole thing on the chin actually a little bit darker. I'm gonna shade it a little bit darker. This is the area right under the mouth. That is just the shadow area. And here you go. And we can working on the mouth a little bit later, but the mouth is a part of this whole shape. This whole shape over here. Look a little bit darker. Okay. And some people is afraid of portrait. They think a portrait is very difficult. And actually think about portrait. It's just like anything else you're gonna draw. Anything else, like what I'm talking about is like a banana, right? Talking about like an apple. If you're drawing those simple objects, you can use the same process into drawing the people, because the people even have more structure they can go by. And let's take a look on this side. I'm gonna have this a little bit, also a little bit softer, like that. That's good. Now we already built up quite a bit of form on the face. Now let's take a look at, and I think the mouth, we need to have a little bit more flat. I think that's coming down a little bit too much. Right, here we go. Now over here, coming up, and a little bit slower curve, like this. That's just good. Let's capture that. Have a little bit bigger. And I can make the lower lip and the upper lip to be in a similar value first, and then divide that a little bit later. I can use my finger to and blending it a little bit. Okay, I think this is pretty good. And now I'm going to soften the line charcoal. Now I'm going to start developing further this drawing by using the compressed charcoal. Here we go. That's good. And even the ear, I just prepare that with a little bit more, a little bit darker area. And then take a look at the ear over here, softly blend the charcoal out. Okay, now the whole thing get a little bit softer. And over here also, be a little bit softer. And here you go. And take a look at the nose, the top over here, also like with a little bit darker shadow. Okay, that's good. The whole eye over here, the whole eye area is also a little bit darker. So here we go. That's good. And no worry, we can revise the line shape by using eraser. And this is good. Now I'm going to come into the compressed charcoal. All right. Now take a look. Start from the top over here. And top of the hair. Okay, that's good. A bit darker coming down. Here we go. Now we are go a little bit more and more into the definitions, a little bit more precise definitions. The side of the head is right over here. And that's good. I'm going to have those a little bit softer, and we'll come back with a little bit more detail using the charcoal and the eraser. Now let's take a look at, I think that the side of the face and coming down over here and start making the turn. right over here. Then make the turn over here. And take a look at the turn. And then the bottom of the chin right over here. Like that. And then here we go. And I'm going to take a look at the width between here and the right side. And the middle part from here to here is almost like taking the middle of the mouth, like taking a quarter. There's one quarter over here, another quarter over here in the middle. There's another quarter and the last quarter on the outside. Okay. Okay, take a look at that. And I'm going to have a little bit more shadow coming up here. I can focus on this is the shadow side, the shadow shape. Also on this I have a little bit more shadow. The light looks like it's coming from the front. It looks like he is sitting in front of the door. I usually use my finger to do the blending, which is very simple. And let's take a look. And now I'm going to, I think the eyebrows in the right place. And maybe the eyebrows are even a little bit lower. And it looks like our forehead can have a little bit more space. And let's take a look. And the nose can come down a little bit. Okay. All right. We're going to do a little bit more changes. Like right over here. This is the eyebrow. There you go. And like that. And the eyebrows right over here. Okay, have a little bit soft. And then we can come here. Let's see a little line right above the eye. Because we already know the general idea of their proportion. Okay, now we can make even a little bit more defined. But be careful when you are using the charcoal shading things, you make sure that it's not everywhere it's the same darkness. Okay. And I think the nostril can come down a little bit. Okay. Actually, it's not much difference or wrong. It just make sure that the top of the nostril shape is aligned up with that. It's not the top over there. So I'm going to make sure that it has it right in here. Now I'm going to come in over here. There's this side of the nostril. Also, you can draw the center line. Okay, the center line always in your mind, coming here all the way, coming to the bottom of the chin. And that will help you to adjust both sides of the face. Okay, now let's come here. The impression is still in my mind that what kind of person he is, and this is very important for any portrait projects. And the nostril is very dark, like that. And also blend the charcoal in here. We're gonna working into the highlight a little bit later. There you go. That's good. And that we find those key points, very important. And there, eye of the nose, not very dark, not super dark. So be careful. And this coming all the way from the side of the nose here, coming all the way up over here. There you go, like that. So now you separate the light side from the shadow side. Okay, right in here and right under the eye. Okay, now we are going to take a look at the mouth and right over here. And take a look at the shape. Upper lip is very interesting. We're going to go a little bit more details, but right now just draw the bigger shape of the whole lip. Because looking at it, the nose is actually a little bit shorter because his face is looking up. And take a look at on this side. And you can also measure that by using the stick straight from the corner of the of this mouth. It line up with the corner of the eye on this side. So the corner of the eye start over here, like that, and start right here. That's the corner of the eye, the inside corner of the eye. So you can move that down. That would be the vertical. That's good. The vertical angle line up with that relate to the eye. Okay. Now let's get away from the details. Just make the whole shape over here, the whole shape of the mouth, a very similar value together first. Okay. This corner can come down a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm gonna soften that. And take a look at, I'm going to make this area a little bit darker. Just see the whole shape over here. And that's right. A little bit coming down over here. And then that's the corner of the mouth. Here you go. Looking for the shape. Just try to capture the shape. Over here a little bit darker, but compare the value. And like this. Yeah. Compare the value. And take a little fold over here. Here you go. Like that, connect to this side. Let's see. Connect over here. So that means the middle of the lip. I'm gonna make this a little bit more. Erase a little bit over here. That's like this. Good. And this can come up a little bit. Okay. Now I'm gonna come back to down over here. This is the shadow shape. Okay. Right over here. Like that. And take a look at the corner over here. Now come down and reform all the structure. And the structure is actually formed by the shape and the value. And the contrast coming down over here. And you can compare this all the way to the nose. And something right here. That's good. All right. And then take a look at the eye. Come back over here. And coming here, there's the eye, the shape of the eye. And don't forget, this is the side of the sideburn. Right over there. And like this. Those are known elements. This is how we measure. And take a look at here and this. Almost like a halfway there. And this is the corner. And now from here, we can draw a little bit shape for the inside the eye. That is here you go. That's the iris. And inside over here, we can draw. Yeah, here you go. There's a little bit shape. There's a little line. This is also darker too. Try not to do too much shading. Blending too early. Yeah. And just put the value over there. We can come to shade it a little bit later. And come down over here, the lower eyelid area. Gonna have that perfect shape over here. That's good. Now try to control them. Don't make everywhere is so dark. Okay, now take a look at the side. There you go. Again, coming over here, start making turn. Let's look at it again. Let's start making the turn and coming in to the chin. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit shape over here. That's a little shape. Try to fill in the value shape. Okay, and okay, this is good. And take a look at the corner, and that's the corner a little bit like this. It looks like this corner a little bit longer, this corner a little bit shorter, right? And then take a look at the nose over here. Good. A little bit coming over here. And this is good. Now in the top over here, I'm gonna make this whole area a little bit darker. Okay, now take a look at this side. And take a look at, I like this eye, the location is just the right place. And I also going to make a little bit, fine tune a little bit this iris. Coming in a little bit more to the left side. And now this eye need to be lower, a little bit lower, like that. Sometimes just a little bit lower, it change a big impression. That's good, like that. And take a look. And now is the eye in the right level, in the right place. This is good. Now I'm gonna put a little bit shape down over here, like that. And then take a look at the inside over here, like this. And the corner of that, that's good. Now the eye white is not really that white. You can actually make it a little bit darker before you put the iris. Okay, here we go. That have some catch to shadow, so look a little bit darker. Okay, that's good. Have a little upper light, the line right about over here. That. Okay, now I'm going to put this a little bit changing point over here. It's called termination area. And there you go, turning over. And take a look at it. Right in the inside over here. Have a little bit shadow, a little bit darker tone right in here. Okay, and also take a look at the lower eyelid. Have a little bit shape over here. Now I'm gonna get away from the eye a little bit. I'm gonna come back to a little bit later, make some adjustment. Okay, now I'm gonna take a look at the side of the face here. And it looked like the ear over here, but the turning is right over here on the face, the big turning right here, and then come a little bit coming down. Okay, okay, this is good, and looks like this need to come down a little bit closer. I'm going to draw this line, a little bit come down a little bit closer, and coming over here, and that's underneath. Okay, now I'm going to add the ear to this. Now first I'm going to also develop the shape that the form like this, and coming over here you see the eye, and here this area also a little bit darker like that, a little bit form, and it looks like this is turning over here and then coming down and turning into the side of the face. And this shape going down all the way, very much flat shape. This is why it looks like a very much the same value, because it's flat. Okay, this is good. Take a look at this side, compare the value on this side and the value on that side. And this side, the whole thing is a little bit darker. So I can tone it down a little bit darker, like that. Now take a look at the ear. The ear is right here. You see that connect to the corner of the eye, right over here. And coming down. And where's the bottom? It's right next to the mouth. Okay, this is good. Right there. That's a very interesting shape. This. And then here we go. They come in a little bit more. That's good. Now there's the ear. Now add the couple pieces shape inside over here. Connect that down over here. And that's just the rough shape of the ear. I'm going to take a look at this side of the ear. Where's the star? Star right here. That's good. Right over here. Yeah, in the right place. And it's about right. Maybe even a little bit lower. Here you go. Coming on to this side. I also am going to develop some line through the drawing. So I'm going to use the line, make it even more interesting and more creative. Okay, that's the bottom of the ear. This is good. Right over there. And the turn over here. This. There you go. Draw a little interesting line over here like that. Very delicate. Okay, now I'm going to draw a little bit turning inside over here. A line is a highly summarized the visual. I'm going to take a little bit over here. Take a look right over there. That's good. Yes, shape coming over, and take a look at. That's right over here. A little bit shadow, and this actually go all the way down over here. Looks like there's a earring. I'm gonna add the earring. A little bit thing over here. Yeah, that's good. A little bit shade. Okay. Now after add that too, is it look more like him. And take a look at the top over here. The hair need to come in a little bit because his face look like a little bit more coming up, like a little bit tippy. Okay. Now I'm going to continue adding other things before we coming back to make adjustment. Before we go to do that, let's have a little bit lighting. Get a little bit highlight back to, like around the nose over here. The nose is not that wide. Take a look at the nostril. The nostril can be a little bit bigger. Let's make the shape a little bit bigger. Slightly a little bit bigger. Make a difference. Okay, look at that. Yeah, that's just good. Like that, coming over a little bit soft shape. Now here we go. Now I'm going to make this just slightly a little bit lighter. Okay, that's good. Right under has a little light shape. And my suggestions would be when you're drawing portrait, always pay attention to shapes. Okay, here we go. And you don't even think about this nose. It's just shape. And how big is that shape? And where's the shape? Okay, right here we go. Middle over here, a little bit later. Now on the side over here, but also seeing the side over here, a little bit darker. I'm gonna have this also, a little bit shape coming over here. Connect that is showing the little bit turning over. They're also coming from the top to the bottom, a little bit change plane, and this is good. And that's good, like that. I'm gonna have that a little bit curve, connect to that. That's good. A little bit curve, connect to that. I'm gonna draw a little bit harder line. Okay, that. And the top over here, I'm gonna take a look and where I need to be a little bit lighter. Okay, this a little bit more clear. Remove that. That's a little bit lighter, but not too light. I'm gonna have a little bit. You're using the eraser like a drawing tool. It's just draw the light shape. Okay, that's good. A little bit over here. That's a little bit lighter. And a little bit lighter here. A little bit lighter over here too. Couple shape. There. Now this is good. Let's integrate the hand. And let's take a look at. And from here, all the way coming up, and that's the second finger, right here. I want you to draw all the big shape together, the whole big shape together before you come to divide them. Okay, that shape over here. And look at from this finger over here, coming down, almost like a vertical down. This is the small finger. Okay, coming here, like that. And then take a look at from this side, that will be the thumb. And since we already have the face have enough details, we can use the detail on the face, like the location of the mouth and those, and can help to define the location of the finger. Okay, that like this. That's good. Now I'm going to do a little measurement between this finger over here to the knuckle over here to see what is the distance compared to the face. And everything can be measured. And take over here from the fingernail. And maybe just from the value that start changing at the knuckle right there. And then from, I'm going to start from the mouth. Okay, no, from here, from up the top of the eyebrow and right underneath, right here. Also, they're supposed to align over here. Okay, like that. And right over there. So I'm going to take the eyebrow and to that line, and I'm going to measure it from here one more time. Eyebrows to that line, measure it here to here. So that means not really that much right here. And that would be right. So otherwise, I make the hand too big and start over here like that. That's just the turning value point of that. So measurement is very important, and you have to get used to keep measuring and measuring. Okay, and here you go. And how to measure include in the classical training program. I'm going to help you to how to make decisions. Okay, here you go. That's good. Now I'm going to take a look at the angle of this thumb, and from here all the way come to the corner. From here all the way come to the corner, and it looks like you need to get. Take a look one more time. From here, the same angle from here is about right from the corner of the eye. Okay, all right. Check and double check, and coming over here, that's the angle. And look at it again. Is that the right place? All right. We do have creative license that you say, oh, I don't have to make it exactly look like that. I can make my own, but within a reason. Okay, that's because this is going all the way here and coming up. That's also the where the thumb would stop. Okay, right here. You don't want to keep all the way going too much. Okay, this is good. The thumb over here all the way connect to the turning of the thumb. Now I'm gonna come in like this. The angular measurement is very useful and very important too. Okay, here you go. That's a little bit smaller. Like that. That's good. Now take a look at from here. I'm going to start connect that. Okay. At going down to that's the arm coming over here. And take a look. Okay. I'll go ahead and all the way coming down. Okay, this is good. So I'm not going to draw too much detail on the arm. I'm just going to shade it a little bit darker. And a little bit darker over here. And there's some fold. This. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to the hand here. Now I'm going to divide this shape, the width of here, into two. Right? Look at it again. Is that right? It's about right. Okay, this is the finger. coming here and turn. And then from here to here, the turn over here is very much right in the middle, right here. Okay, a little bit softer. That's good. Okay, that's the middle turning. And this is the shadow side. Okay, here you go. Now I'm gonna have this little bit shadow. Now I'm gonna take a look at here. That's the fingernail. Okay, now showing the fingernail, we're gonna use the lighter value, which is I'm gonna use the eraser to make that lighter. And this is a little bit shadow. And now looking at the inside the thumb over here, see a little bit fold like that. Okay, now this is good. I'm going to make the neck a little bit darker so that enhance the form of the hand. Okay, that's turning, coming over here, and this is a little bit darker. That, and here you go. Now this is the neck. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, here you go. And also the chin, also a little bit darker. Now this is good. Now I'm gonna add the cigarette. Okay, now here over here. That's good. Yeah. Here you go. That's good. Okay. That. And take a look at this finger. A little bit more rounded at the tip over here. That. And then I'm going to shade it. Big, darker. Take a look at the fingernail over here. And if you think about fingernail, you think about the wrong thing. You maybe argue with me. It's fingernail, but it's not helping us as one say fingernail. It just have to see where's just that line, the curve and turning, and how nice that would be, right? That's more helpful. Okay, right here. I'm gonna have a little bit shape over there, like that. That's good. I'm gonna have a little bit over here, texture, is showing the shadow. Okay, that's good. A bit like this. That's good. Here we go. And some fold here too. And that's just the knuckle connect to these fingers. Okay. There we go. And like that. And a little bit turning. See. And there's a little bit shape coming up here. Just keep thinking about it. Okay. The value, the shape, the form, the value. I'm gonna and a little bit dark over here. Now I'm gonna come to use the eraser. Coming over here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make the fingernail a little bit lighter. Okay, just make the shape a little bit lighter. This is good. A little bit lighter over here too. And the whole tip over here of this thumb a little bit lighter. Make it lighter. Okay. And this a little bit lighter. Like that. Okay. That's good. Everything is editable. And that's good. And some people are afraid of using charcoal. Believe that charcoal is difficult to erase. Okay, it's not true. If you don't press it too hard, and it will be easy to erase. Okay, don't press it like really, really hard and deep into the paper, and that's why it's difficult. Now we are going to come into here. Take a look at the side, the shoulder over here, and see how I holding my charcoal and actually make it easier to render a different look of the line. Okay, here, coming down here. There's a little bit line over here. If you can draw the line with one stroke, draw one stroke. Okay, and if you have to draw two strokes, well, draw that. But a little line over here, like that, showing the fingernail. That's good. Okay, here, shadow, coming over here, shadow. Good. That. And there is a silver necklace. Okay. Right over there. Give a little suggestions and take a look on this side. A little bit bold, and take a look at this side of the shoulder. And be a little bit lower. And here you go, like that. Here you go. Take a look at it again. Beautiful. Okay, here you go. Make a little fold over here. Now we successfully create the whole drawing with enough fundamental shape. And now I'm going to take a look at the arm over here, the shoulder arm over here, showing that. I'm going to just put a little bit shape over here. That's good enough for that. And now I'm going to travel back to the face. Right now, you're going to say, yay, okay. But before you go there, just get a big impression over here. And it looks like this can have a little bit texture like that, coming this way. I'm going to first do a little bigger rendering, the bigger changes. And before we go into the smaller details, over here is a little bit more, right? A little bit more darker, okay, right here. And make this form a little bit stronger because that is the shadow area, a very dark shadow area. Now here we go. That, okay. Take a look over here. Can be a little bit darker, coming down over here, a little bit darker over here, like that. Okay. And think about this is not a person, it's just shape, and how you're going to capture the shape, and how you can manipulate the shape and to communicate your feeling. That even better, right? Okay, come a little bit with this way. I'm going to have a little line like that, and control how deep, how dark the line you want. Okay, like this. This is good. And I'm going to have this even a little bit more. Like that. A little line coming down here. That's good. Okay, now get the top over here. Doesn't really need that much over there. And take a look. It looks like the forehead can open a little bit more, but it's probably okay. I'm going to double check and make it just a little bit lighter, like that. That's fine. It's good. And for some of you, just arrive late and enjoying art as artist community and members coming around the world. And we started on YouTube that by sharing videos, and now we have lots of learning program focusing on the members' need. If you want to become part of us and drawing, learning, taking the challenge every week, and come to join us. Just go to enjoyingart.com and you can see the member activities and benefits. Okay, come take a look at one more time. You're saying, I still need more textures. Okay, take a look at, it looks like the mouth can be a little bit higher anyway. Okay, what we can do, sometimes it doesn't really need that much higher. And let's see, I'm going to draw a little bit texture over here between. And then I'm going to maybe move that just slightly, coming higher. That's a little bit higher like that. Sometimes higher, that means like a hair higher, right? Not really. Like a half inch, a quarter inch. That's a little bit too much. I'm gonna put this shape a little bit higher, like that. Okay, that's good. And take a look at the bottom over here. Can be come up a little bit. Okay, just a little bit like that. And then we can see the texture underneath here. And we can see a little bit texture, a little bit light shape right over here. Okay. Use the DD erasers to give you lots of flexibility and easy to modify. Okay, like that. Okay. And try to keep most of those tracks, those charcoal. That will be fine. Okay. Now I'm gonna really looking into the mouth area. I'm gonna draw a little line over here. I think that line is very important. And actually I sharpen my charcoal stick. And this is good. I have that line. I'm gonna take a look at the mouth over here. Take a look at over here. A little bit coming up, a little bit like that. I'm gonna soften that. I'm gonna draw a little bit shape. Okay, there's a little shape over here. Draw a little shape. Here you go. A little fold like this. Yeah, beautiful. One line. And a little big shape over here. And have a little fold over here in the middle. Those are a very important mark. And for this, for the person. Okay, that's good. A little bit line like that. A little bit mark over here. And also have quite a bit of texture over here. Okay, that's good, like that. And take a look. It looks like this can come out a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna make maybe this line a little bit softer, but I'm gonna this dark because of too much blending. And this, here you go, and come back over here. Now draw a little bit more. Now make a little line like that. Here you go. Go around over here, make it a little bit more clear. That's just good, like that. Okay, look at that. Look at inside the nostril. And this side, bottom over here, a little bit lighter. And take a look inside over here. Can be a little bit softer. You can see that the inside over here a little bit softer. Here you go. That's just good. Now the bottom over here, we're also going to draw a little bit line and seeing that this nostril have a little bit closer to the middle over here, like this. And also have a little bit darker shadow right underneath to see how these two sides connected. Now you see that we are getting a little bit more and more in the details, which is we didn't do that in the beginning. Because why? In the beginning, we need to focus on the larger connection and relationship. I'm going to also make this so big softer because I don't want this to compete with the highlight at the top of the nose, right? Here you go. That. And good. Here, a little bit later, come down. So as I said earlier, the charcoal paper, it has texture, but when you draw bigger on a bigger scale, and this is fine. This is not that much bothering. Okay, here you go. There's a little bit shape over here, a little bit shape over here. And if you want to draw a line, the line doesn't really have that much strength. The shape has a strength. If you just draw a line, that could be okay. Like I say, I'm going to draw a line over here. But you won't really see that much from distance. But you have a very emphasis shape, and that actually taking lots of attention. Like over here now, I'm going to come in over here. I'm going to make this side have a little bit catch the shadow shape. This side a little bit darker. Now I enforce this by using a little blending. Now get a little bit stronger. Okay, here we go. I'm also going to light up a little bit over here. Just tap on it. Here you go, a little bit lighter. This is good. That create a form underneath over here. Add a little bit lighter shape right over here. Just think about shape, shape, shape. And every time it's all about shapes. Okay, now I'm gonna have like a hair coming out from the nose. Okay, right here, I'm gonna have this line a little bit softer. That's good. Now I'm gonna have this, the shadow side start over here. Okay, like that. And you can do quite a bit of blending, but for a grandpa like this, you might want to keep a little roughness. Okay. I have a little bit lighter over here. That's good. That, I think this can be a little bit softer. There you go. I'm gonna have this a little bit softer. Otherwise, it looks like a cut in a little bit too much. Right? This a little bit softer. That, everything editable. I'm here. Draw a few lines, a group of lines, and really make a difference. Now come to between these two eyes. Have a little line over here. Here you go. Down, up, coming down. Okay, coming onto this side. There you go. There's a little line over here. Yeah, this is good. Getting into more and more details. Now I need to make this side really make the form a little bit stronger. Okay, I need to make this a little bit darker. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit detail over here. And here you go. A little bit like that. And I can see the mouth over here, a little turning. A little bit mark over here. And this also a little bit darker. So keep modifying the value. Here you go. I'm gonna have this a little bit light. Put a little light over here. A little bit light right here. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to soften that and still showing light to dark because from the light side to the shadow side. Now I'm going to make a little bit details inside of the mouth by using a little bit light up a little bit in the middle over here. Light up a little bit like that. This is good. And on this side a little bit darker, but the top over here a little bit lighter. Right? See a little light shape right about the mouth. Okay, that's good. And now I'm gonna make this also a little bit softer. That's good. Yeah, a little bit over there. Okay, soften that a little bit. And every time when you try to do the details, first focusing on the whole area, which is called bigger shape, right? You have to focus on the bigger area before we go into the smaller details. This coming in and coming up, this. And this line connect all the way to the top over here. See that? Like this. And see the connection coming over here. And this line actually then slanted a little bit more in here. Yeah, that's good. Now take a look on this side. This side need to be way darker, right? And we have that. Oh, look at the nose. The nose should be a little bit wider. Okay. Now I'm going to, I think this side should be fine, but the other side, I think it to come out a little bit. Okay. Always aware of the big relationship, the big form, the big shape. Okay. That's good. And the middle of the nose over here should be apart a little bit more. Okay. A little bit. That's good. Right, that's good. A bit softer, that's good enough. Okay, now the nostril, a bit apart. So the bigger form, the bigger shape is very important. But the smaller one, we can keep continually modify and change it until make us happy about it. This more like that, and then coming over here, there's a little bit softer over here. Coming down over here, a little bit clear. Like that, seeing that line, a little bit more clear. Coming all the way over here. That's that, right? Ooh, I like that. Coming all the way over here, and then seeing the shape. Now I can soften that a little bit to enforce this whole shape on this side. A little bit more turning over. You can even make it a little bit darker by applying a little bit darker value to it. Okay, like that. And also when close to the mouth, a little curve in. That's very simple. Okay. Take a look over here. A little bit darker. That's good. Now on this side, also seeing some of the in fold and a little bit more coming to this angle. I'm just going to put those there. Don't blend it. Don't make it disappear. Okay, this is very important. Okay, over here too. And I'm going to shade that, connect to this form. This is a shape over here. Now I'm going to actually develop more and more and make the form also the special feature even more clear. Over here a little bit darker. I'm going to keep drawing this angle. This is how the skin turning, okay, like this. I'm going to make it a little bit softer and coming over here. Now a little bit darker. Now I'm going to, this may be a little bit too light, okay, compared to the light side. Okay, make sure that darker than the other side. Okay, now coming into here, take a look at, I think that's come up a little bit. Here you go. That. Yeah, I have fold coming over here and a little fold over there, and it looks like this should be come up a little bit, and the lower the area right here under. There you go. That a little bit softer. There you go. Now come back. Let's take a look. And add a little fold. You don't draw those in the early. Draw that now. Draw that after you develop the big form. Right? Coming down a little bit like that. And that's good. That a little fold over here. That's good. A little bit like that. Take a look. A little big fold. Some line coming through over here. And here you go. A little bit darker at the bottom. And take a look. This a little bit darker. There you go. Have a little big fold on the neck. You can see that. That's good. Yeah. Have a little big fold over here. A bit darker. Like that. Good. Now you're getting a little bit better. And I think this is not so light. A little bit darker. Yeah. And also here can be. And I'm going to come back to, I think that couple lines is serve something like uncertainty. They are probably good and try to create the illusion that is something is not essentially important. I'm going to have this here. And I'm going to make it a little bit lighter in the thumb over here. I think this can be a little bit more softer. Here you go. Okay, that. And also seeing the thumbnail there. I'm going to have this a little bit higher. That. Here you go. There's the thumbnail. Like this. That's good. Okay. We're getting more and more developed into, looks like the drawing finished. And then I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the side over here. Okay, take a look. And this line looks like this line, and cut in a little bit here. And make that whole shadow area. But I do want the outside line a little bit more clear. I'm going to draw a little bit darker line. Okay, now this is how we're going to summarize and develop some interesting line. Okay, here, line coming over here. Here you go, a little bit going over here. That's good. That. And make a really make a accent. This coming over here. Here you go. That. And then a little line coming over here. And here you go. Ooh. Very beautiful. And then would put this line in here. That's good. That. The ear. Very interesting, but it doesn't really need to be so light. Shaded much dimmer. It is dimmer. Yeah. And there's actually have another fold over here. Yeah. Good. Okay. Now this ear, push that a little bit further to the background, which is very important. Okay, take a look at the other side of the face. So they come back to the eye. Spend a little bit more time here. I think this can be a little bit darker. Make that fold in between that a little bit darker, like that. And we can see lots of folds coming up, like that, coming up over here. Not really dark, so I don't want to make it too dark, too important. Take a look. There is this dividing area on the top over here. And seeing this. Okay, now we're gonna make it a bit darker. The eyebrows. That's good. Make a little change. And I'm gonna come back to give a little bit suggestions inside of their eye. Yeah, here over here. A little bit lighter over here. And on this side, lighter. That. Now you can feel like, oh, this is the eye white. Okay. This doesn't need to be so dark. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to give you a little bit detail. The lower eyelid. There you go. Like that. And onto this side. Some line rolling over. That's good. That and the top over here. A little bit darker. And that's a little bit loose here. That's good. Like that. A little bit mark over here. And now I'm going to make a bit darker coming up like this. This is important. And this coming down. Good. Good. And a little bit fold over here. Like that. Yeah. A little bit fold. Like this. Very relaxing. Simple. Okay, here you go. Add a little line. Here you go. Coming down over here. A little bit darker over here. Like that. Take a look over here. I'm going to also analyze some of the line. That's good. And this side, a little bit darker. A little bit darker. And also make it feel like this earring over here, a little bit more exclusive. I shade it around. Okay, that's good. That. Good, like that. And now I'm going to make it a little bit more clear. This is the side of the face, right? Now I'm going to make a little line over here, like that. Use the line to make an important suggestions over here. That's good. Like that. A little bit fold over here. And here you go. Now get a little bit more and more interesting. Over here is a little bit softer at the edge. That's good. Now take a look. And could be open up a little bit more over here. That That's good, right? And I'm gonna make this a little bit lighter, softer. And here you go. And here you go. That's good. Wow. And now come back over here. If you want to make the fold a little bit more three-dimensional, is use the eraser to make the light next to it. Okay, you got that. That's good. That's very good. And that a little bit above this line, a little bit light shape. That's good. That's good. That may be too much. Just soften that a little bit if you think it's too much. I'm going to keep it a little bit light about. Okay, that's good. That. So here's just the challenge for most portrait art. Can you draw anyone, everyone, always with the complete likeness, even plus personality? How can you guarantee that? Be able to accomplish it within the fixed timing and learn the process. That's very important. Okay, now I'm going to come in here to see a couple light shape. Everything is about observation, capture the shape, open up your feeling. Okay, a little bit light shape over here too. That's good. A little light shape over here. And maybe a little bit over here, right over here, like that. Okay. That's good. This probably doesn't really need to be so light. And under here, I'm gonna have a little light shape over here. Yeah, like that. That's good. And get it again. Now, I'm going to have a mark over here. A little bit. Here you go. That. Good. And a little line coming up. And as the little remark, I want to tell everyone here, if you want to see our upcoming event, and either for the member or include the public, they are always posted on our homepage, enjoyingart.com, and right in the middle of the page there is a yellow box that I would put it there. Okay, so please come to check the enjoyingart.com homepage so that you won't miss our demonstrations schedules. And sometimes I just maybe do it, a couple hours this afternoon. I'm going to do a demo right this afternoon. I maybe just put it there in the morning. So have a habit. Check in every day. I'm going to see how we are doing. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you can, if you're not a member yet, come to join us to become learning member with us. And we have Friday, always have their member challenge that we are painting, drawing together. Over here, like that. I get a little bit more important details. A little mark over here, a little mark over here. Okay, a little mark over here, a little mark over here. Okay, now make it even more and more. And let's see, a little line, a little fold coming down over here. A little bit over here, like that. Okay, and this is good. And a little attention to the hand over here. Look again, a look before you do it. Okay, that. And a little bit darker over here. A bit dark over here. The fold. Okay. A little fold over here. A little fold over here. Okay, like that. And you need a couple fold over here. Have a longer line over here, all the way coming here. And a little line here. Here you go. Like that. Okay. There's a lot of fold over here on the hand. I'm gonna have the arm over here coming up a little bit. There's a bone over here. And here you go. I'm gonna make the line a bit more interesting. Coming down like that. And here you go. I'm gonna use this side, put it down a little bit, show a little bit shadow. That. And here you go. And I'm gonna come into to keep a little bit more confirmed line. Here you go, like that. Move it over here. Now make a important boom. And here you go, coming down. This is good. Okay. A little bit dark over there. A little bit shape over here. Make it interesting. A little bit this. If you can use one brush stroke and don't use two. Okay, that's good. Over here. And put it down and change that over here. Okay. We do have our oil painting channel on YouTube. Okay, please check it out if you like acrylic or oil painting. That is Enjoying Art Magic. If you type youtube.com/enjoyingartmagic, you can see that channel. And we're going to continue growing the channel. And if you like, you want to encourage us to continue to develop the oil, and please come to join us to watch all the full video there before they disappear. Okay, that's good. That. And that's good. I think this can be a little bit dimmer. And now I'm just going to keep adding the value. Now I'm not going to blending it that much. Okay. Yes. There you go. And look at, try to get more texture. Get more texture into the drawing. Yeah, that's good. And have a little mark over here. Get that bit running. Okay. A little bit darker on this side. Okay, a little bit darker over there. That's good. A little big fold on the top over here. That's good. I'm also going to draw this confirm line coming in and like this. Good. Okay, let's take a look at. Pretty interesting. And look at that. Look, the whole thing is that. Is there anything you want to change? I think the corner over here, I'm gonna make it a bit more smoother. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna have the little beautiful hair like this from here. Hey, yo. That's nice. There's something that a bit coming back over here. Okay. Softer. And a little bit coming out. This. Yeah. I think this put it interesting. journey in this drawing. And I want to make this a little bit more clear, a little bit in, a little bit like that. Sideburn here like this. And I'm also going to make this a little bit softer. Make this a little softer. Is that turning over and turning to the other side. Same thing over here. Can make a little bit softer. Okay. And I will also, if you want to know the paper, the charcoal, the medium that I use in this drawing, I also later I'm going to put it onto the YouTube channel. I'm back to look at them. And again, come to join us. Learn together. I appreciate it if you are encourage me continue making the content, and tell all your friends come to learn together. Okay, and this is good. And now I will call this demonstration as completed. Thank you. I will read your comment.